How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of SevTech Ages. Today we are going to take a trip on into the beneath because last episode I kept calling it the deep dark. It's not vanilla Minecraft, my bad. But I did find some of the dark oak here. So we have a dark oak forest all the way to the right here. We also have a fir forest thing right there as well. So I gathered up some of these saplings from that area as well. And then somewhere on the way back, or on the way there, I found it. I don't think I marked it though, but I think I have a jungle biome as well, but it just doesn't have any trees. So it's just really bright green, like it would be a jungle, just without any of the trees. So I'm not quite sure. It could be a different biome in this pack. I can't quite tell because we don't have biomes unlocked in F3 or on the minimap thing just yet. So eventually we'll figure out what that is. But let's start this ritual here. And hopefully there's no chance of this accidentally breaking. If it does, that would be kind of bad. Although, not really. We would just need to go find some more of the blackstone stuff from the little bad area over there. But there we go. We got our portal ready to go. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump on in here. If I can remember how to do this, I thought we just shift on it. Do we not? Do we right-click on it? Oh, we right-click on it. Okay, my bad. And the torches are not lighting anything up. That's weird. Is that going to work now? Yeah, they just needed an update on the block there. All right, so while we're in here, we are looking for two items. So we need to find some of the black quartz, which is on the top of the biome, and then we need to find some of the aquamarine stuff, which is on the bottom of the biome. So that's going to be fun. Can I actually see any of that stuff while I'm here? I don't know what exact Y level those things are going to spawn on, but I do see some coal, I think, or some black quartz. Not quite. Yeah, maybe that is the quartz stuff. Yeah, that doesn't really look like the coal that we see in the overworld. We are kind of up in the air here, so what I want to try and do real quick is actually plop down a totem, because I have been looking around to see whether or not we had any of the aquamarine stuff, and I've yet to see any of it. We have a whole lot of the quartz, but that's about it. So I'm going to do one of these real quick, make a nice little totem of night vision, and then what I'm going to also have to do is pillar down with sand and gravel. I don't have a whole lot of gravel. I'm hoping that the sand that we do have right now is going to be enough for us to plop a ladder down, because we got all the quartz down there, and then the aquamarine stuff is going to be up there, which I definitely don't have the sand for. So I'm going to have to go get some more cobble, which I have a whole ton of that already built up. So it really shouldn't be that much of an issue, but hopefully with the Enderman on here, I don't know if having 6 of these actually makes a difference, but or at least for this, I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but there we go. Not bad. I don't really dig the purple, but it helps us see things a little bit better. So I'm going to scan one more time here now that I have this going, and hopefully I can see some of the aquamarine stuff so that I know where I need to be heading. Well, I was pillaring up to look for some of the aquamarine stuff, and I wasn't really having any luck until we were about to start going through the roof, and it looks like we have some right there. Unless there's another blue ore, that should be the aquamarine stuff right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just bridge on over to it. I'm going to also plop a torch down so we don't have anything bad happen. We have some right there too. Nice. Okay, so this should trigger the advancement here in just a second. And here we go. There's our first piece. There's our advancement done as well. I'm going to harvest this whole little batch, and then I'm also going to jump down and gather up some of the quartz as well. I haven't grabbed any of that just yet. Nice. We ended up with 12 of the aquamarine stuff here, and this should also trigger the other advancements. Actually, it's not. Maybe we have to smelt it down or break it some other way here. So let me just grab a little bit of this. I don't think we need very much. So with the quartz, we just plop it into our grindstone for our horses to work on, and then we have to smelt that down into usable quartz, and then the advancement should pop. But now that we have the aquamarine, we can go ahead and do the next step here, which is to make a parchment paper. And for that, we're going to need mulberry bark, which I think I might have already gotten a mulberry tree, and if I haven't, then we need to go find one of those, because that's what we need to progress. So, yep, there we go. We did indeed find one, and we should also have some saplings for that thing as well. We do indeed. These are also the trees that I found while I was looking for the dark oak stuff here. So we got some blue stuff that I don't know what it is just yet. We got a willow sapling and some fir saplings as well. So we got some cool trees to plant and maybe use the wood for later on. But I'm going to get these guys growing because it looks like we might be needing that for a little while here. Oh, we actually can't strip the bark off of this thing with our work blade. So the only way to get the bark off of there right now, as far as I'm aware, is to actually use the saw blade that we have not crafted. The recipe for it is really straightforward and really cheap as well. We have the tin, we have the bronze for it. But yeah, we have pretty much everything for that right now. But in order to power that thing, I'm pretty sure we're actually going to need the black quartz stuff to make the water wheel and power it properly. So we do need to progress with that stuff, which is good since I grabbed some of it. Hopefully we have enough of it. If not, then I'll go grab more of it. It's all over the place in that biome, so it's not really that big of an issue. But yeah, that's going to have to get sidelined for 2 seconds here because we need to make that saw thing. So we should have all the metal built up, hopefully, to do this. If not, I have more in the chest over here to smelt down, and we might actually have to go grab some copper because we are a little low on that. It looks like we need a couple gears, so give me a few minutes here. Let me gather up the metal, and by the time we're done with that, we hopefully have this quartz ground down so that we can actually smelt it and use it, unless it's already done. These guys aren't moving, so yep, they're already done. Cool. So we got at least 8 of this quartz ready to go. So to craft up all those gears, we're going to need a wooden one as the base. So hopefully we can get enough teeth from all of these guys right now. It's 4 per, and we need 4 gears? 3 gears. What was it exactly? Hold on 1 second. We need, yeah, 4 gears. So hopefully we get enough teeth here. I just bred them all together. We have the lucky totem things going, and we've gotten 7 so far, so only enough for 1 gear. Oh my goodness. Come on, drop a little more frequently, please. If I could actually hit these guys. There we go. We got almost 3 gears worth. Come here. Thank you. I need to kill you too since you got health missing. And we need 1 more tooth. Oh, come on. You get to be the lucky sacrifice here. Come here. Come on. Thank you. All right, we got enough to make all the gears. That is all we need to do. We also had another option of making these if we didn't get enough teeth from these guys. So we can also do it with glue, which requires us to craft up a cauldron, which is something we are eventually going to have to craft here because we have a food item that I would like to make that gives us 3 of our nutrition things at once instead of having to eat like 3 different things all together here. So that's something that we might want to make here. It's really, really cheap. It's just some clay, so we might end up doing that, but right now we have enough teeth to make these, so let me get... Oh, actually, hold on. Do we have enough of the... We do. Okay, I'm going to go chop that down. Do I have any in planks yet? I do not. All right, so we need to wait for our horses to smash this stuff down. Well, I'm just waiting for the copper to finish smelting down, but we have enough to make all of our stone gears. We should also have enough to make our bronze gear, because we only need 1 of those. We also have the stuff for the tin gear to make the flint gear, so let's get that put together as well. And that's that done, as well as that one. We should also have the leather, so there's that. And now the only thing that we're missing is going to be the copper gears here. So we just need 1. But I needed to go mine a little bit more so we can actually make a block. I can't wait till we have the ingot casting thing. Having to make a full block over and over again is not really that fun for me. But that should be that in just a second here. We also have the quartz done, by the way. So now we can make the axle so that we can actually power this thing with the water wheel here. So let's see what we need for that. We are going to need 1 of those and some hemp rope, which... I don't have any hemp right now, I don't think. Let me double check. We have a little bit of the raw hemp right now. We have to put it through the millstone to actually get usable hemp here. So we have 7. We also have some of it sprinkled around our area, so I just got to go grab some more of it. And then oh, I didn't want to break the whole stem. Dang it. I place that back. Hopefully it grows. And there's our copper stuff dealt with. And let's also craft up our saw blade. And there is that. So... I don't know if we can actually power this with the hand crank right now. I'm going to see, because if we can, that'd be great, but I don't think we can. So we'll just go ahead and plop it right there, and then we plop our log like that, and that broke our thing instantly. Okay, that was my bad. Let's try that again. Maybe we can't power 2 things at once. It doesn't appear to be spinning that thing. Okay, that's a good sign. Let me plop it over here and see if it works on this side. Maybe it's a side-based thing. Nope, definitely not a side-based thing. Okay, it's just not spinning this thing. So we are going to have to hold off until we get the water wheel up and going, or the windmill, whichever one we want to go with. It's probably the water wheel since it's part of the advancements here, but we need a little bit more of the hemp fiber here, and then we can get that thing crafted together as well. So I'm going to be sat here spinning this thing for a few minutes, and there is our first axle there. Good. We also need more copper, but right now we should have enough because it's only 4 per gear. So we need to make 1 more of those for the water wheel here. So that's another bison or 2 that we need to kill. We do have 1 more tooth, so hopefully we don't need to kill too many more of them. I'm going to try and breed them again. I don't know if it's been long enough for me to be able to do that, but that keeps us from having to go down the cauldron path to make glue here for a little while longer at least. And there is our water wheel. Nice. So now we should be able to power this thing to get some of that mulch going. So I'm pretty sure we might need to put this on flowing water. And the only flowing water that I currently have access to, unless I want to build out some of the aqueduct stuff, is over in this like river area on the side. Well, actually, it looks like I might have mixed up the areas here because this is not flowing water. So what I'm going to do instead is actually craft up some of the aqueduct blocks and see if maybe we're able to flow the water up a little bit, because we are separated from the ocean like 5-6 blocks there. So hopefully that's something I am able to do, because without that, we don't really have an option other than maybe like platforming into the ocean and blocking up the water and then cutting a channel out so that we have flowing water again, because that's really the only option we have available until we get a bucket. So let me craft together some of those things, and hopefully this is somewhat doable here. All right, well, we're going to see whether or not this actually works or not. So let me place a couple of these guys down. And we might need one more extra piece. I thought it was going to be this guy right here, but that's actually for items only, it looks like. So I'm not quite sure whether or not we're even able to move the water the way that I'm thinking we might be able to right now. So give me 2 seconds. Let me finish placing these things down. It's looking like we are going to have to craft that extra block to make the water go up the aqueduct, because right now it's not doing that on its own. So the block that we need is actually a screw pump, which we can't currently craft because we need the vertical half slabs, which we get from using the saw. So what I think I'm going to do right now is actually just extend this thing out a little bit, because we might be able to place down the water wheel right here. And for the time being, that's all we really need. We need this thing to turn on so that we can actually use it. And then once we're done, I can adjust it to put it over there. Now, I don't know how many of these screw pumps we're actually going to need, which hopefully if we can do one, I can just drag the water all the way over here and then screw pump it up into this aqueduct. If not, then we're going to have a little chain of them going up, but hopefully that's not the case, because I think we also need to power these things, so that would not be a great use of our time there if we have to drag axles all around our little area here. Let me do one of those, and that's good. Can I plop this guy down? I can't. Can I place it up there? Nope. Is it a too wide thing? I have no idea how big this thing is, honestly. Although that wouldn't work because now the aqueduct's not connected and we still can't place this thing down. Okay, let me try and figure out how this thing works. We might have to place it on the axle, actually. So there's that, and then we can maybe do that. There we go. Look at that, and it's spinning immediately. That is nice. All right, so let's get rid of this, and then, oh my goodness, that's loud. Plop that there. The saw is moving. So this should give us our half slabs, which it is indeed, almost instantly too. Look at that. That is so much faster. And I think we can also use this to turn in the logs into planks. So the horses are just about like non-useful anymore at this point with this thing, especially for the wood. So there's our first screw pump. I'm going to see if, again, I can get away with only having to use one of these. Also, I made a cauldron so that I can just make glue because we needed it for this thing, and I just went ahead and used glue to make our gear instead of having to go kill bison again. So I want to extend this forward and just see if we can pump it up any. So I'm not going to go all the way over there to start. I just want to see if this is even going to work. Well, it's not moving the water up, so I think I do need to power this block. But to do that, we need to power it with the energy that we're producing from our water wheel. And to do that, we're going to need a lot of axles and a lot of gearboxes. So where I have it right now, or where I want to have it, we are looking at like 9 axles and 4 or 5 of the gearboxes as well. And that's a lot of the quartz right now. I need to go back into the beneath and get some more because I don't have enough for it right now. And then for the gearboxes, we need to craft one of those for the advancement. And that is actually kind of cheap, but we do need an axle for that as well. So we're looking at like 12, 13, maybe a little bit more of the axles for that alone. As far as the gears go, that's completely doable now since I have the glue thing running. So I can get those really, really easily now instead of having to farm those guys because the luck totems don't really seem to be helping all that much with that thing, I guess. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it wasn't really seeming like it was making that much of a difference there. But before I start working on that stuff, I actually want to try and complete the other advancement that we built this thing for, which is the mulberry stuff. So let me break down these logs. We should get I think it's a 1-to-1, so we should have 16 bark when we're done with this. We do indeed have 16, so what we can do is plop 4 of them into that, and we can stir this. This is the other cauldron, or the basin that we made a little while ago that I wanted to make bread with, but I still haven't made any bread with it, so it's kind of just been here making leather and whatnot whenever I do need to make it, instead of having to do one by one in our inventory, so we're going to do that. We should have enough water in here to do the rest of these, and now all we got to do is wait for all of these things to dry, and then I think there's one more step, and then we have the paper ready to go, or whatever. Yeah, I think it's parchment paper, right, that we need for the advancement, so in a few minutes, we should be golden. All right, there we go. Nice. So we have a bunch of this. Hopefully, it's going to be enough to actually craft the thing that we need to craft. I didn't even double check that beforehand, but now with this, we need to combine it into a 2x2 that then the horse presses into the paper here. So we need at least 4 of these, and we have exactly enough. Okay, I must have already double checked that then. That's awesome. So let's just plop these guys into here. We'll have 2 over there. We'll have the other 2 with the donkey. And eventually, we'll have the paper ready to go. We also have the stuff put together already to get our gearbox put together, so that way we complete that other advancement as well. All right, well, there's our gearbox, and we got 6 more quartz left over, so that's 6 more axles that we can craft. Are these guys done with the paper already? That guy's still moving. I guess no, they're both done. Okay, good. So we'll take both of those out, and there is our parchment paper as well. So now we have 2 more things left before we progress to the next age, but we also have the ability to craft up that turntable. So what do we need for that? Because that gives us access to a bucket, and to do that, we need another axle, which we have the stuff to do right now. And then some smooth stone, some copper. Oh no, do we have we have the copper. We can do 1 gear worth of copper right now. So if we do that, we get access to the bucket, and then we don't have to do the pump jack things that I'm making to move the water like we're moving right now. I don't think. So that saves us the whole process of grinding up the stuff to get axles going. So I'm going to make 1 more axle because we need it to craft up this thing. And then we're just going to make a bucket. I actually want to try something real quick because I'm not sure if we're able to automate this or not. So if we place the millstone there, we hopefully are receiving power. Although it doesn't look like we are because the thing is not moving. That is definitely not receiving power. So maybe we have to plop the gearbox in between it. So let's do one of those. And that's facing the wrong way. There we go. Then we plop one of these guys there. That is not spinning. Is it the wrong way? Maybe? We have to have that thing facing the opposite direction. There we go. That is now spinning. Good. So can I place this here? Place those guys in there and see. It's still not receiving any power. All right. Maybe we do one of those. I'm trying to see if it has a face on any side, but it doesn't. Does it have a thing on the bottom? It does. Look at that. Okay. So how do we send power? Oh, we have to make another gearbox, don't we? And face it vertically. I don't want to do that. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. Hold on. We don't probably have to do that. 1 second. We can probably get away by taking that guy out. I thought I just broke the axle. And then placing it here. And now we have power there. Give me this guy back. Place this guy right there. No, come on. Right there. There we go. That is now spinning the top bits. And it is generating power for this thing. That is awesome. I don't have to sit here and waste my food over and over again grinding the hemp down. So that's pretty good. I'm going to do this for a few seconds. We should have all 7 of these things ground down in record time. There's our turntable. Now we can use this to make the bucket, which I don't honestly think I have enough clay to do right now. I think I have 1 block of it, and then I have a couple of loose pieces. I have 1 loose piece. So we might need to grab more of that here in a second. And while we're still over here, we might as well craft up the other thing as well, which is the astral tome. So we should have the parchment in our inventory. We need 3 of the aquamarines. So let's get 1 of those going. And then we can craft that together like so. And now we're on to the final step of this age, which is crafting up the luminous crafting table, which is one of the recipes that we need to craft over in the Necronomicon little ritual thingy over there. So we actually only need 6 clay, and we need one of those, and that's going to give us 2 buckets worth of, or 2 buckets basically from this thing. So if we run back over here, I already placed down the turntable, and all we got to do is plop the bucket thing on top of there, and it should turn into a bucket on its own. So one of those, and then it's going to do a whole little animation thing. And I'm not sure if it's going to pop off on its own, or if we need to break it. It looks like we need to break it. Okay, so let me plop the other one on there. Let me also pick this guy up so we don't lose it. And then we need to break that guy off as well. Cool. And now with these guys, all we got to do is put them into our little kilns down here, and it should turn them both into clay buckets that we can actually scoop stuff with. And there we go. Look at that. We got 2 buckets. If we use this on lava, it's a one-time use. So right now, I don't want to have to go get more clay at the moment. And the closest lava we got is right across the water in our mine. So we'll worry about that when we start messing with the Tinker stuff, because at the moment, I don't think there's really much for us to do with lava other than the Tinker stuff. Or I guess the Nether, if that's accessible this early. But there we go. We can fill this aqueduct up, and we don't have to do the little thing that I was trying to do to begin with. So, yeah, I'm glad I only made one of those, and I didn't go grind up a whole bunch of the quartz to get those things up and running, as well as all the axles. So I'm going to move that stuff over here, patch this hole up so that I don't have a whole little janky thing going on there. But now that we have this, we pretty much have an infinite water source everywhere now. So that is really, really nice. Alrighty, well, I went ahead and moved everything up here, but I think I'm still going to craft up a couple more axles and gearboxes so that I'm able to power these 2 while they're on the ground right here, instead of having to place them on top of the other gearbox. So I'll worry about that in a little bit. We only need a couple more pieces of the quartz to get that stuff rolling. I think we only need like 6 or 7 more pieces, and we're good to go. But before we do that, I want to actually craft up the last thing for this age. So we're going to craft the luminous crafting tables. So we need these guys on the side. We need the aquamarine on the corner pieces there. We need these guys in the top pieces, and then the crafting bench that goes there. Now, I just want to very quickly double check and make sure that I do have the power to do this before I waste resources potentially if it doesn't actually do anything. It's only going to cost us 1,000, and we have 1,400 right now, so we should be able to do this. And there we go. Nice. So let's take that, and into the new age we go. Age 2. Sweet. So let's see what the things are going to be. We're not going to mess with any of this right now, though. We get access to the Between Lands. We get access to a Tier 3 Blood Altar. That's kind of neat. We also get access to Tinker's Construct now. Look at that. That is awesome. I can't wait to start messing with that stuff. Well, now that we have access to buckets and we're in the new age, I want to finish setting up our farm. So initially, I wanted to set this thing up, but we didn't really have a good way of moving water around, so I kind of didn't bother with it. And what I did instead was just set up a little farm along the coast to get some of the stuff rolling in, as well as all the stuff that we have around us. But now that we have the aqueducts and we have the buckets, we can finally set up a proper farm here. So I want to just go ahead and plop this right over there. And once we connect this, we might have to move the source block, but that should automatically fill the entire thing, hopefully. It looks like it is. And then we can knock this guy out. And that should also be good, hopefully. Seems like everything's working. As long as the water continues to flow in this area, that's all that really matters, because we need the water flowing for this thing to keep spinning. So if it stops anywhere else, I don't really mind it, but over there, it needs to spin, so we look like we're flowing all the way around, so that's great. Well, our garden is up and running, so now all of our stuff is in one central spot, so I can harvest them in one go instead of running around trying to find which patch has what, but this should help speed things up a little bit. And also, since we're in a new age, I figured we can use a new skin. So we're no longer Caveman Door, we are now Fancy Mustache Door. So this is the skin that we'll be rocking for the next couple of ages here. But before we wrap up today's episode, I want to head back to the Beneath because I want to get more of the quartz so that I'm able to craft up more gearboxes and axles. So to get everything up and running, I think I only need 8 axles. So we only need 4 quartz to do that. So that's not really that big of an issue. I'm going to run back in there, see if we can get that going. If we can get more than 4, that would be ideal, just in case I need more than 8. Well, I've gotten 2 so far, so that's 4, and that's all that we needed. So we can get these guys. Is that another one? That is not another one. Okay. So we got 6 right now. I'm trying to just run and grab as we can, because everything in here seems like it has more health, or our weapons are just not doing damage. What is that? Holy cow, that scared me, man. Okay, you know what? We got 6. If I need more, we can just come back and grab more. I think, what is that? 6 of them is going to be enough to get this thing done. So let's get out of here. I don't want whatever that was that screamed in our ear to do that again. That was a jump scare and a half. Holy cow. I should have checked the recipes now that we're in a new age, because the recipes did indeed change. We no longer need the quartz for the axles there. So we just needed a single thing of hemp and 2 of the wood things that we can make with the saw. So that was way easier to do. I should have not even wasted our time going back in there to get that stuff, but it is what it is. Hopefully there's another recipe that requires that quartz and we didn't just gather up a little bit more for no reason. But now everything is up and running in this little area. So that is really, really nice now. Anyways, though, that's where we're going to be wrapping up today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.